March Madness, Auckland's annual period of traffic mayhem, looks set to start early due to industrial action by train staff. This is a real standoff between the employer and the workers. The action coincides with the start of the busiest period for public transport and cars as students return to university. Train staff are refusing to work overtime in protest at plans to do away with train managers and operate driver-only trains. The standoff has led to delays and packed carriages today. Laura Tupou reports.
We normally get the 7:35 train, but now we get the 7:45 train.
How are you feeling about that?
Angry. I wish they were more frequent, that they ran more frequently.
I think that's just cost cutting.
You're going to be late for work.
Yeah, we will be at this rate.
Yeah, but because of the later
this is going to be for the next 3 weeks, they tell us. Oh, good grief.
Give the workers what they want so we can go back to, what we took
sort
for
out
granted.
their problems.
Yeah.
You could see the look of frustration on people's faces this morning as they waited longer than usual at train platforms and crammed into carriages at peak time. For the next 3 weeks, train services will run every 20 minutes instead of every 10 at peak times, right as the university year kicks off, heralding the beginning of what's dubbed March Madness. Some workers and students weren't happy.
7:35 actually suits me, so I'm on dot for my office timings. I'll be finishing late because of it. If this is the regular thing, then I'm gonna aim for earlier train.
I arrived just as the 7:25 train was leaving, which is what I'd usually catch. So I've had to wait 20 minutes, but I'm happy about them performing action.
I'll be late for school because my school, you need to sign in at 8:10. And then it kind of gets me there at 8:20, so I'll kind of be late every morning.
No, I'm running late, and I've just heard a message from a guy from work that 2 trains have just gone past him in Ellerslie, so both full. So it depends on how many people get off, I guess, whether we can actually get on.
It does put a bit of a dent in my morning schedule. I'm not actually going that far. I'm only going maybe 4 or 5 stops, and it probably takes me now an hour.
Auckland Transport's rail services manager, Craig Inger, says there was also a handful of people at Orake station who had to wait for the next train because of a full Eastern Line service. But he thinks AT gets a pass mark for its handling of rush hour this morning.
There's some learnings which we'll take from this morning and we'll put in place for tomorrow, but realistically going on the situation, what we wanted to do was make sure this was a 20-minute frequent provides some surety around service.
The Rail and Maritime Union organiser, John Kerr, says the move to get rid of train managers who settle disputes on trains and open and close doors will make it unsafe for passengers. Transdev and AT want train drivers to control the doors and employ train officers who will come on and off trains to manage issues. Mr Kerr says train drivers are refusing to work overtime until the matter is settled.
We never anticipated that this would have the impact it had. We issued notice of the overtime ban on Saturday afternoon within an hour. AT published the reduced timetable. That was a big surprise to us.
John Kerr says the union will meet with the train operator Transdev on Wednesday, and depending on the outcome, it has a few options up its sleeve.
We'll quite happily lift the overtime ban. If that's not the case, we also have a mandate for full stoppages of the network, and we'll obviously consider that.
He says the ideal outcome will be to negotiate a 2-year collective agreement to keep train managers and discuss how to work through safety concerns. But for now, Auckland Transport's Craig Inger says it's doing its best.
We doubled up, so we do, during our normal peak operation, we do have some 3-car trains. Those were all doubled up. For tomorrow, it's really around the amount of staff that's going to be available. There may be options to try to put in extra services if possible, if we have enough staff, and the operator will do that if we can. So we won't know that until tomorrow morning.
Auckland Transport says there were 4,500 more seats on buses today, and the Transport Agency says although traffic was heavy on the motorways, it wasn't yet anything out of the ordinary. Mō te hōtaka o te ahiahi, ko Laura Tupou aho.